everyone, and welcome to the CRJ series part 1 of this tutorial. So I guess first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. So the goal of these couple videos here is to really just to get you guys going. It's a high-level overview of just basic operations of the CRJ 700. So not meant to get your type rating or anything like that, but you know, just to get you going and get you in there as quickly as possible, since this guy has been released. So without further ado, we are at DFW. Bravo 22 will be the gate. Had to flick over there real quick to make sure I was right. And so we're in, of course, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and dive into this thing here and throw this thing in the air. So I'll do my best to kind of hit some of the gotchas with the CRJ as well, and at the end of part 2 I'll just give my brief impressions on what I think once we arrive into Baton Rouge there. So got our, of course, we're in a flight deck now. I would highly recommend that you set yourselves up some custom views. That way you can quickly flick where you need to go. You can also minimize this guy as well. I normally do. Jumping over here is really going to be the meat and potatoes of the functionality, right? So here's Aerosoft's EFB. Those of you who have this iteration and are like the Airbus iteration and P3D, you guys are more familiar with this. So of course, got your checklist. Their performance, really love this here. We'll dive into that shortly. Aircraft, just general door functionality, cargo doors, GPU power, aft cargo, your ground cart. You can adjust cabin lights as well, and of course your aircraft states over here. I normally start in cold and dark. However, you know, if you gotta get going, get out of the gate. Right now you can also hit turn around and ready for startup and so on and so forth. Maintenance, self-explanatory. ADG, I rarely mess with this, but you know, it's there for you. Options, this is really cool. So temperature units, Celsius, Fahrenheit, kilograms, pounds, millibars, inches of mercury. I can also set them as independent as well. Curious to see how that works with your cockpit. Be pretty cool. Flight director mode, you can use the chevrons or the crosshairs. Get the crosshairs set up. IRS align time, got realistic, quick, and instant. You know, you gotta roll with the instant there. And of course, flight number indication of flight plan page. So we got a little customization. So this really helps out a lot. I'm going to go ahead and hit this up real quick. This is the PFD heads-up guiding system throttle detent hint. So what that is actually let's go ahead and fire up, get the airplane warmed up real quick. So battery master, and now let's go over here. Go get the ground card on, or I can do this beforehand. Either way, and I want to press AC power available here. You also have DC service. This is mostly for ground crew. Gives the ground crew like minimum functionality. I think exterior lighting, things like that. So if they need to move the aircraft, so I won't be using that. We are on and powered up, so we'll get the nav lights on. There we go. All right, so and clear these guys here. Move the armrest. So unlike most aircraft where the IRS is or overhead, these guys are located up top. So I mean on the bottom in the center pedestal. I'll get these guys set to nav, and that should voila, get us instantly aligned here. So once we got that going, so let's see, there we go, the throttle detent hint. So by enabling that, the CRJ with the FedEx functionality, the thrust levers are sectioned off in detents, kind of like Airbus. So right now we're in shut off. So even if I'm moving now, I'm moving my hardware throttles now. I'm not moving because the engines are off, right? So the field control system and the thrust levers are integrated. So that's why we're not getting much movement there. So you got the idle gate, then you got climb, toga, and max power. Normally, of course, take off when we be in toga. So this is great in real world. You know, you can actually feel the detents, but the problem in the sim is we can't necessarily feel that. So what happens, and you'll see once we fire up, you'll get a little yellow box here that says manual, and that'll just indicate you're kind of in this range here. And then once you hit the climb, you guys will see it. You guys will see it. So that's pretty much, you know, as far as the EFB is concerned. There's a few other options here. You can kind of drill down into it at your leisure. Got airports there, cabin announcements, flight deck noises, so like the sneezes and the coughs. So if you find that your throttles are a little weird on the with your detents, you can also calibrate them as well. Go in there, single axis, dual axis, so you can set that up there at your leisure. So I'll mess with that. We'll go ahead and save that. And cool. All right, so we are heading to Baton Rouge. Right, got a little IMC, okay, but not too bad. All right, so let me get my flight plan up. Super simple. I think right now in DFW we are doing South Ops. So we'll take 1-8 left, which is just to our tail there. I don't want to get a crazy taxi time. So first things first, we'll get the airports out of the way because that bugs me. Alright, let's go back to flight plan here. And index, there we go. Alright, start from scratch. So first things first, want to enter for the position in the initialization screen, just like any other FMS we've messed with in Sim. I want to put in our airport there, so we'll put DFW, Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. And we'll get that guy in there, that guy in there. We'll hit next. And of course, let's see, I'm gonna center this up so it'll be easier for you guys to see. Alright, so we got that initialized. So what we'll need to do is we can go in and get our origin airport and our destination and the FMC as well. Just be careful because sometimes your speed brake lever will get in the way. Let's pull that feller back there a little bit. Baton Rouge, 332 miles. So a little key point here. We'll cover that here in a second, because it can get you confused at times, or at least me. Alright, so we got our flight number in there. Again, super simple route. So again, just like any other FMS, we'll set our origin right. So 1-8 left, I'll be departing from, and then we'll utilize the March 2 departure, and we'll transition on our route via Zalia. So there's that guy, there's that guy. We'll execute, and we can see it populate that, and saying we need to be above 5,000, which won't be an issue for Jaden. Alright, so we'll arrow this over. So now we at least kind of got a little bit of a starting point. Wanted to show you guys this as well. So this is the performance page for the EFB here, and what you can do, which is you can kind of pretty much, I'm sure y'all can tell here, is of course you want to set your weight and balance for your trip, right? So you can do it a couple ways. You can really drill down into your weight and balance there, so you can set how many passengers, how much cargo in your front and your aft cargo bins, and as well as your fuel. I normally like to do this. Again, this is just me, especially again when you're short on time or whatnot. You can just go ahead and get a zero fuel weight in there, and I think our release is calling for 7,800 pounds, 7,862, close enough. Oh, so I can live with that. All right, so what we can do, we can copy this in a simulator. Once we do that, then the aircraft is actually physically loaded. All right, cool. So, and takeoff speeds are already there. Boom. That's pretty much it for the performance. So these other buttons down here, of course, you can copy your performance numbers into the FMS basically, and as well as the fuel from aircraft. You can also. So normally I'll just copy my data into my FMS. So once we finish getting our flight plan built and go over to our performance initialization screen, everything is there. So coffee break. So everything is there. All right. So let's see, Baton Rouge. Right now, I think they're favoring go. I think it's southeast stop. So we'll do 13 ILS runway 13. All right. So pretty much set to go. We'll just take vectors there. Nothing too crazy. We'll jump back over to the flight plan. Now that we pretty much got our meat and potatoes there. So again, distance. So we want to make sure that everything is kosher from that perspective. So most Boeing, Airbus aircraft, you can make adjustments to your ND up here in your glare shield, but on the CRJ, majority of your settings is going to happen over here. So we want to change the format to the plan view. We just use this to click over, whether you use your mouse wheel or whatnot. And then from there we go to MFD Advanced, and then we can arrow over. Let's say we can step over to waypoint. So we'll just go over chain. There's Zalia, and then we can hit next. And then let's see, it should take us to our initial approach fix. Let's see here. It take us, there we go. So we can kind of drill down and see what it looks like there. So if we wanted to, for example, we can come in here. We can come in here and clear this discon. So we'll just connect Razode to Zalia, execute that, and that'll give us a consistent route. But of course, if you're on VATSIM, be careful with doing that, since ATC may give you vectors or whatever. So since that's done, we can go back to the plan page, and we can go back to our normal map for our ND. So that's set there. Now we can go over here to our performance initialization screen. All right, so this is what we want to do. So we'll go over here, we'll copy performance data over to our FMS, and then from there, really all we have to do, we can put in our cruise altitude. And for this one, we can do 27 really short out of here. So, and you can also enter your alternate cruise altitude as well if you so desire. Speaking of alternate, our alternate will be New Orleans, so we can at least get this in here at minimum. That way we can make adjustments there, go direct to load up a star, wherever we need to do. So you look at this as now we got 354. So just keep in mind that if your distance doesn't exactly line up to what you're expecting or what your release is saying, it's probably because you got a disco in there. So make sure you search it up, because if not, and you continue on, then you'll just end up going whatever heading it is. It'll jump off an ad, and it's never fun. So definitely make sure you step through your flight plan once you. That's my public service announcement for the morning. You can also enter cruise winds here as well. Again, I'm not gonna fool with it. And really, guys, that's pretty much it. As far as the takeoff data, that's already been entered there. So climb performance. So basically, just to give you guys a rundown what we're going to do. We'll depart. We'll pitch for 250 under 10. Once we get above 10, we'll pitch for 290.74 Mach, and continue on from there. So cool. Looks like we are all set to go. We'll go here to our prog page. And let's see here. So I got our takeoff info loaded up. Alright, got our let's see here, altimeter set. So now we can go over here to the aircraft. We can go ahead and shut the doors. Alright, and we can also close the forward and aft cargo bins. Cool, looking good, looking good. Alright. Go ahead and get this guy out of here. So go overhead panel, be a little easier. Alright, so APU, 2 buttons you gotta press. Press the power fuel. What that does, that opens the doors there, which you can also verify it if you're just that type of guy or gal. You can also verify it there that the door is indeed open. Alright, so looks good there. Once the door is open, you can press the start button, and I'll also tell you down here as well that you're. I was like looking back there because anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and on the emergency lights there. Seatbelt signs are on. And let's see, we'll hold off on that. So APU starts pretty quick. Looks like we are on there. So the bleed air system is a little different than like the 200, for example. Everything is for the most part automated. So really, all right. So recirc fans, we could have had those on, at least keep some air flowing. That's cool. Left and right pack on. So right now the packs are on since we're pulling pneumatic pressure or bleed pressure from the APU. So that's going there, and that's really it as far as the APU function. This guy will make some adjustments here for a landing field elevation here in a minute. So the APU gen is already connected. I normally just leave this guy in auto as well as the generator 1 and generator 2. I mean, why complicate things right in sim? So that's set. And yeah, I get the window heat on, probes on as well. Alright, cool. So, looking like we're almost set to go here. Move this guy back forward. And so what we can do now is, and this is more of a 2020 thing that I've ran into. We can go ahead and disconnect the ground cart and the wheel chocks. I'm going to, if you're using the default 2020 pushback functionality, which I think most of us are as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and get the hydraulic pumps to auto and get the beacon light on. So just be careful. I go ahead and disengage the parking brake because it seems for me once I get connected with the pushback truck, it gets super weird. So again, this is what I normally do as of now, unless we get some other cool plug-in to help us out with getting pushed back. So try and get that request going here. Good so far. Let me get this out of y'all's way. I know y'all want to see it out of y'all's way. Alright, getting hooked up here. And once we push back, make sure you got your nose wheel steering switch set to armed. Otherwise, you'll still get control. You still have controllability, but your nose wheel won't work. Well, actually won't see it. So let's get pushed back here. And I'm not going to bother with relaying messages to the tug, so we'll just request stop once we get clear of that gate area there. Alright, we'll go ahead and request stop.
EFW ground November 172 Sierra Tango requesting the end of pushback.
November 172 Sierra Tango request to end pushback received.
Alright, cool. We're all set there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on nozzle steering. We'll set the parking brake for now. And once we do, make sure he's clear. Beacon light on. Want your left and your right boost pump on. And again, the entire start process in the CRJ is automatic. So once we, just to kind of give you a rundown of the logic here, once we press the right engine start switch here, we'll see that illuminated. We'll see the left and the right pack close to give us that start pressure. And once it does that, then we'll introduce fuel at about 19-20%, and we should get a light off there. So, and we can also go to our CAS, and I think we can see the logic happening. Actually, let's go. That's over there. All right, let's go ahead and start the right engine there. So we're clear on the right. Start the right engine. All right. See you there as well. Both valves are shut. All right, it's 14%. 19%. We'll go ahead and lift up. Alright, looks like she's lighting off there. N1's coming up. Oil pressure is increasing. Oil temp is coming up. And there we go. She's lighting off right there. That guy back on status. I think I also see right auto ignition coming on there. Right engine start. Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as
And it'll stabilize around like 20-ish% N1.
during an emergency, please remain in your
Alright, looking good, guys. Looking good. Cool. Let's go ahead and fire up number 1.
cabin pressure. Breathing masks will drop from the ceiling and should be placed over your head.
And looks like the bleed valves are
The walkway emergency
shut. I'm sorry, the packs are off. Apologies. Alright, so it looks like N2 is coming up.
In case of an extreme emergency landing, you'll be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between
19%.
your head. We would also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
There's N1. Come outside, take a look. Like the rain stopped. Oh, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. Alright. Like still coming up there. There we go, about 20%, stabilize. And cool. So we're good to go there. So packs are back on. Everything looks good. We'll go ahead and stop the APU there. Let's see it winding down there. So while it's doing that, let's go ahead and get the flap set to 8. And down here, there's a couple things we need to do. We need to turn on the channel 1 and channel 2 mott trim on, and then we want yaw damper 1 and yaw damper 2 on. I want both of those on there. And of course, if you're on VATSIM, you can set your transponder here as well. Really, pretty much it for down here. For right now. Of course, I want to make sure nozzle steering is on. and our trim, we can go to our performance page here and see that we need to set it at 7.2 units. So your trim set, zip right past it. Oh, all right, good here. We'll go ahead and get the recognition taxi lights on. That center light on, and we'll turn off the APU power, which basically closes the door. Cool. Now you can also do this as well. You can go ahead and arm your left and right thrust reversers. So on the CRJ, and then we'll go ahead and taxi as well, guys. So on the CRJ, instead of us just being able to go directly into reverse thrust, that actually has to be armed. So if you're ever landing and realize your reversers haven't deployed, that's probably why. So all right, just came out of P3D, so still used to the little enunciation down there in that corner saying that your brakes are still set. Go ahead and start the turn here. The directional control is done by the rudder pedals. For some reason, I think it's more of a Microsoft thing that the tiller functionality doesn't work. Or if one of you guys have found out how that works, heck, let me know. Let me know. Different, curious to see. Alright, so we're making our way over to 1-8 left. Out here. Back in here, and good. All right, guys. So what we'll do, we'll depart, fly the departure out, and then we'll leave you at 10,000, and we'll pick up as we get closer on to Baton Rouge. So just to give you guys a heads up. Hopefully this serves to be of some use to you. Let's see here. Got the wipers on. Wiper functionalities in this corner here if you're looking for that. Alright, we'll take this guy here. Ground handling this thing's pretty easy, guys. Not a whole lot to it. Really, once you give it enough breakaway thrust, it kind of goes on its own, unless you go up a hill or something like that, which I think is pretty cool, especially from P3D. All right. All right. So as you line up, there's a few things you can do, right? So I normally go ahead and set my runway heading there, or my initial heading that I'm going to use. We'll get that set in the window, or if they give you, for example, runway heading, you can set that up as well. Look, I was like, what's going on? It's like, oh yeah, we're on a hill. We'll do full length heading out of here. Contaminate runway. So actually, yeah, let's use those contaminate numbers there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
Oh, did I? Cool. come up here. I think I need to add a little more thrust to get up this hill. Alright, a little more there. We'll hold short here and do a quick briefing. Alright, so as far as pre-flighting, before takeoff flow, not too much to it, just your landing lights on. Landing lights on. You can also, if you so desire, use the heads-up display. I don't use it, but you can. That is available to you. Get that guy back up. Alright, and I'm going to drill down a little bit of my ND. Make sure that's set. Press the toga button. Get our crosshair set for toga. So we'll depart, fly runway heading, and we'll intercept the departure there. And I'll be on our way. So cool. Alright guys, let's go ahead and head out of here. And we can also confirm that our takeoff config is good. Phone's clear, room's clear. We can also arm our nav mode there to get us in a intercept heading. Alright, there's 18 left. Confirm that. Alright, we'll go ahead and set thrust. Thrust set. We can see toga there on our PFD. Airspeed's alive. Full forward pressure. Ease off the nose there. A little bit of a correction we're going to need, so we'll go ahead and rotate. Clouds ready to climb. Gears coming up.
2 Sierra Tango, you were not cleared to take off.
Of course we're clear to take off. Alright. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get the airplane cleaned up. Our speed mode. There, of course, the IMC there. I'm gonna let Otto help us out a little bit.
The captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. You may now take off.
I'll press nav there. Alright, we'll start pitching for 250. Alright, so again, there's no auto throttle on this guy, so it's up to us to manage the power here. We'll go ahead and set that climb detent. And we're going to assume we've been cleared all the way up. I'm sorry, pretend we've been cleared all the way up. So we'll come up all the way up to 270. Alright. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright, cool. Well, after takeoff full low, get the wipers off. Alright. So right now, we're in the climb detent there. running about 83-84% N1. So based on this power setting, the aircraft is pitching for 250 knots. So let's say, for example, we're coming up a little too high. We want to slow it up a little bit. We can always come out of that climb detent and adjust that accordingly. There's 9,000 feet here, and again, once we cross 10K, we'll pitch for 290 knots. All right, there's 10,000. We'll go ahead and pitch for 290. All right, landing lights off there. And let's see if I can light off. And you can see that the airplane's doing a really good job of doing that. So you can see it pitching for 290, coming through 280 there. We're flying this arrival out. Solid IMC, guys. Solid IMC. Now we can zoom out there. Alright, sweet, looking good here. I'm going to sync my bug, it's just a habit. My heading bug there. And we'll hold off on the seatbelt signs. I want those guys up at the moment there. We're just busting through the cloud layer. Just busting through the cloud layer. Sweet, gorgeous vehicle, guys. That's going to conclude part 1 of the video. Again, just a high-level view. Not perfect by any stretch of imagination, but hopefully give you guys enough information to get you up and going. As we continue on to our destination, we'll pick back up just before descent, and we'll continue on from there. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching, and be sure to drop a comment and let us know what you think. Take care, keep the blue side up, we'll see you.